What does God have to do with running? For me, it's everything. And I think that's why in my own journey with running in general, I've always been very cagey and very bashful about why I run, because I feel like not so much that feels like a weird answer as far as, well, why do you run? If I were to just respond, well, because of God. For some reason, though, that's always made me very hesitant compared to someone who can say, well, I'm really fast at it, or I just really love it, or I was an addict and then I started running and it became a vehicle for my sobriety. And all those stories are great, but I've always struggled with answering that question with full honesty. And I think it's because my faith means so much to me, and in a lot of ways, running has brought about a relationship with God that means a lot to me in my life, but also has formed me into the man that I am today. And it's hard to answer that in passing. It's hard to give people the context that I feel like I want to give them, because it really did all start, aside from, as a kid, if we were to run around the track or do a 400 test. I just had a knack for running kind of fast for an extended period of time. It's not that I was a fast sprinter, but I was moderately fast, but could hold that for an extended period of time. But then when I got to college, I came into college as a baseball player who couldn't play baseball anymore. And I thought I was at peace with that, but I look back and realize, no, that actually was really hard to have this thing that I was really good at, that consumed a lot of my time, that I dreamed about. I mean, I'm wearing a baseball hat right now. I still love the sport. And both medically and just talent-wise, to realize I don't have the chops to achieve what I wish I could achieve in this thing. And so I came into college as just this pompous small town kid in a big town place with ideas of who I'm supposed to be and the friends I'm supposed to have and the life I'm supposed to now build. But then I started running. And I had always known of the person of Jesus. We were raised in church, went to this awesome youth camp my whole life. When I look back at when I started running 30 minutes 3 times a week my freshman year of college, and I would just connect with this God that I had never connected with before. And there were so many ideas of who I'm supposed to be and the man that I thought I should be, that on these runs, God really laid bare. And 30-minute runs became 45-minute runs, and 45 minutes run became hour-long runs. And I began to just want to go run because I wanted to be with my Savior. I wanted to be with my Creator. I wanted to commune with God in this very sacred and personal way that wasn't just something that felt good. It was changing me and giving me space and speaking into me as far as the person that I am made to be. And it was in those runs and in those first few months in college that I didn't just discover that I enjoy running, but I discovered I love this God thing, and I love the gospel, and this Bible thing says a lot about who I am. And there's a love here that I haven't experienced and that I want others to experience. And so for me, running is very much rooted in my faith and is very much fueled by my faith. It's fueled by this intimate connection that I have with God that I don't get in any other way, shape, or form. And I've definitely encountered God in church and in my car with worship or around the fire or with my brother. Like, plenty of times God has had more than enough grace to show up in other ways. But with running, it's just me and my Savior. And that's so precious and that's so important to me. But so because of that, it's like I guard it instead of answering honestly when people say, "Why do you run?" Because I want to say everything I just said. And I've, other than in conversations with my wife and my brother, have never really peeled that part back. And I think that's what makes it harder to watch other runners do a Leadville or do a Western States and hear them talk about why they run, because it's so different. And it makes me feel like maybe that's what it takes to be a known runner. And for me, this is just supposed to be a faith thing. But alas, here we are in front of a camera talking to a microphone. And as I've thought about it and thought about coming to the mic to really for the first time allow others to know, for me, running is a God thing. I've also been thinking about, well, running is also a connection thing. I began running a lot because I connected with God. And then I met this beautiful girl who also runs. And the first time I ever hung out with my now wife, we went on a run and we connected. And through that, have begun opening up to more people, like doing track workouts with people, running with my brother, running with people I don't know, and just getting to hear their stories and hear why they run. And it's made me realize that while a lot of people love running because they're good at it, or because it pays the bills, or because it's what their identity is built in, God has been so kind to give me a thing that allows me to connect in a very deep and important way with Him and with others. And so that's why when I think of the question, why do you run? It's because of God. It's because of the way that He allows me to connect with people, and people are precious. That's why I love it. So, when I think of Leadville, when I think of all the other things that come with my love for running, it all begins with, it's because I really began to discover who God made me to be and who God has made others to be through this simple movement. And that's why I love it.